We here at the Sports History Network proudly partner with 26 podcasts, all revolving around the history of sports. But did you know that many of our hosts were sports history authors way before they started their shows? It's true. We've got Joe Ziemba, host of When Football Was Football, Joe Zagurski, host of Pro Football in the 1970s, Mark Morthier, host of Yesterday's Sports, Tommy Phillips, host of Lombardi Memories, and Scott Adamson, co-host of From the 55-Yard Line. All these authors have many books for you to choose from. To check them out, go to our website at sportshistorynetwork.com/sportshistorybooks. Pick up your copy today. Soundtrack provided by Kevin MacLeod of filmmusic.io.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today we're going to discuss what is, in my opinion, the best team that the New York Football Giants ever had. The year was 1986, and even though I was a Dallas Cowboys fan, I lived only 8 miles away from Giant Stadium, so I couldn't help but get caught up in the excitement. The Giants joined the National Football League in 1925. From that time until 1964, the team had success. Although there wasn't an NFL championship game played in 1927, the Giants were named NFL champions based on having the best record in the league, with 11 wins and 1 loss. They would play in 14 NFL championship games between 1933 title games in 31 years is impressive. But the success could not be sustained. From 1964 to 1980, the Giants never reached the postseason and had only 2 winning seasons. Giants fans were fed up with losing, and their ire boiled over. On November 19th, 1978, the Giants lost at home to the Eagles in the famous Herman Edwards fumble recovery game. The following week, the Giants season ticket holder Ron Friedman organized a ticket-burning rally at the stadium with about 100 angry Giants fans participating. In December, another season ticket holder, Peter Valentine, hired a pilot to fly a plane over the stadium with a banner that read, "15 years of lousy football. We've had enough." In 1981, the Giants finally reached the playoffs with a 9-7 record and defeated the Eagles in the wild card game. But they lost the following week in the divisional playoff game to the San Francisco 49ers, 38-24. The good news was that linebacker Lawrence Taylor won the Rookie of the Year award and was also named Defensive Player of the Year. But the Giants returned to their losing ways in 1982, going 4-5 in a strike-shortened season, and head coach Ray Perkins resigned to take a head job at the University of Alabama. The Giants hired Bill Parcells for the 1983 season, but the team did not do well, finishing with a dismal 3-12-1 record. Lawrence Taylor was again the bright spot, winning the Defensive Player of the Year award for the 3rd consecutive time. Things got better in 1984. The Giants went 9-7, made the playoffs, and beat the Los Angeles Rams in the wild card game before losing the divisional playoff game to the 49ers. Big Blue got even in 1985 when they beat the 49ers 17-3 in the 1985 wild card game. And although they were shut out 21-0 the following week by the eventual Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears, Giants fans had high hopes for the 1986 season. New York went 12-6 in 1985, their best record since 1963, and the team was loaded with talented young players. But the 1986 season started sadly, as two former Giants players died during the off-season. First, defensive back Carl Spider Lockhart died at 43 years old, and 7 weeks later, running back John Tuggle died at just 25 years old. The season opener was a tough assignment on the road versus the Dallas Cowboys, and the Giants lost a close one, 31-28, on Monday Night Football. The winning began the following week at home when the Giants' defense forced 8 turnovers and a 20-7 win over the Chargers. Week 3 and 4 saw 2 more wins against the Raiders on the road, 14-9, as Joe Morris ran for 110 yards and the Giants' defense held Marcus Allen and company to just 58 yards rushing. Then a come-from-behind rally where they were down 17-0 and won 20-17 against the Saints. The team upped its record to 5 wins and 1 loss, with consecutive wins over the Cardinals, 13-6, and the Eagles, 35-3, holding the Philly offense to just 58 total yards and sacking the Eagles quarterback 6 times. Lawrence Taylor had 4 of those sacks. The winning streak ended in Week 7 against the Seattle Seahawks when the Giants allowed 6 sacks and Phil Simms threw 4 interceptions. But New York bounced back at home the following week against the Redskins, 27-20, even though Washington had success through the air with 420 yards passing. But the Redskins' success was countered by the Giants' work on the ground, led by Joe Morris, who ran for 181 yards. 19 miles away, on that same night, the New York Mets came from behind to defeat the Boston Red Sox in Game 7 of the World Series. There was much cheering at the stadium that evening. Their Monday night win against the Redskins set up a rematch against the Cowboys, the team that had beaten the Giants in the season opener. This time, New York came out on top, 17-14, as Joe Morris ran again for 181 yards. The team went 8-2 the following week when the Giants claimed another victory over the Eagles, 17-14, showing consistency on offense and defense. Taylor had 3 of the Giants' 7 sacks, and Morris went over the 100-yard mark again. That concludes the podcast for this week, but tune in again next week for Part 2 of the New York Giants' 1986 season. Until then, thank you and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so it
retro
was that
sports
Marla Delph
advertisement
discovered the
placards.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, Sports Writer. Coming soon.